holding it up with my leg so we don't drop it. Drop the ratchet, not the fender. All right, so still playing with the rear fender. Looks like I might have to pull the whole swing arm. So we're going to go ahead and move on to this speedometer. It's a speedometer and an oil pressure gauge. I don't care for them. They're right in the way of my leg when I'm trying to ride. So we're going to get rid of that. Put that up on the auction block. If anybody's looking for a Evo speedometer and oil gauge cluster, there it is. We're going to pull that off of there. All right, so these are going to go right back in there. So having to trace this wire might be interesting, but at least that's going to be out of my way. So last weekend we were laying out in the driveway. This weekend I'm laying on the concrete, but at least it's inside, I guess. So that's it there. Wow, okay. It comes up through here, all the way back up there. Boy, we're just having all kinds of fun today. So it looks like I've got to take a lot of these brackets off, and I think I'm going to just go ahead and pull the swing arm because all the electronics are back in under here. I also need to make sure it's reusable if somebody wants to purchase it. And that's the only way I'm going to get this fender off clean. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and keep watching. We'll keep playing. Thanks. Okay. What kind of sucks is my jack is right in the wrong place. So again, this is much easier to do on a lift. I've got one lift covered with this bike, and the other lift I haven't brought over here because I haven't got my big compressor or my power or anything to this building yet. So we got to get under here and get the shocks unhooked from this, which we're not sure what flavor that is. Now that that lift's out of the way, I might be able to get in here and get that fender off. Okay, one. That was kind of scary. I was trying to get this bolt out, and when I pushed on the wrench, basically the whole bike rolled to the side because it's on that little scissor lift there. So I'm not an Evo guy, I'm just learning, and time I get this thing painted, I'll have known a lot about this machine, because unfortunately half of it has to come apart just to put the rear fender on. Go figure. All right, so what's next? That one. Sure wished I had some heat. I think for next week's video, we might have to have the space heaters out here. I'm sure I would prefer it. I'm breathing over here, and the chrome is all condensating because it's so cold out here. I never knew I'd take a whole bike apart for one rear fender. I could have rebuilt a shovel head by the time I got this far on this one. Oh, again, move the whole thing. Okay, so we're back and forth, back and forth. Hopefully, we got enough wiggle on the swing arm that we can do something with it now. We'll see. So see how much more movement we got now? And I can hopefully get to those two bolts. That's the plan. If the guy's real lucky, he might be able to do just like that. We'll get this fender out of here today, one way or another. We'll drop the whole swing arm for reassembly, because to try and get this fender in here freshly painted without dinging up the frame or the freshly painted fender is almost going to be impossible. But that's all right. That's what we do here at HCH. All right, how close are we? Feed your socket through this way. All right. So we're trying to get better at being prepped before filming, because this isn't the most exciting thing to watch, I'm sure. But what's the old shirt say? It's not the destination, it's the journey. This is the journey, guys. Yeah, when the bolts drop out the bottom like that, then you just got to play hide and seek to put them all back together. All right, we are so close to fenderless. Let's see about this one that's been fighting us. Now that we got them shocks out of the way, let's see. We got one hiding. Where's she at? Right there. We might be able to get a ratchet on there finally. Well, okay. Go figure. That one I couldn't get to back in here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's two bolts, one here and one here. This bolt was missing altogether. So no matter how hard I fought for it, I was never going to get it because it ain't there. Okay, so now we're going to see if we can't pull these fender struts off with the right tools. Allen key, and I think these are 1/2 inch on the insides. In fact, we might just be able to do the top end of these, like so. Yeah, it'd be nice when the compressor's up and running that I can use my air tools. Sure a lot more friendly than all of this fighting. Hey, we've just about got a loose fender here. Holding it up with my legs so we don't drop it. Drop the ratchet, not the fender. Voila, one fender ready for paint. We'll stick that with the tank. So that's our color pile. And as long as we're doing it, we're going to take these off because these are going to go and be colored the same as the tins. And I'm going to take a lot of the little odds and ends pieces off of here and take them for powder coat. Not sure what flavor yet, but basically when you go to have stuff powder coated, you pay for the oven, not the quantity of parts. Well, at least here, the guy I do powder coat stuff with, I basically am using his booth for the amount of time it takes. As long as I can get it in the oven, there's no extra charge for extra parts. That again is going to be a color match to the fender. This is going to be a color match to the fender. And look at that, guys. If you come around the back side of the bike, you can see speedometer wire and disconnect that from back here. Kind of nice to see. We've got circuit breakers. So you got 3 circuit breakers, which usually when it's choppered, it's not that way, but it looks well done, which is good. Should keep me from having to fix anything. All right, so we're getting our pile over here. I'm going to actually move this tank out of the way. So that's our pile of paint. Got to get that all to paint. I'm trying to get it to paint this week. We'll see. Well, that was progress. Now, with everything open, let's see if we can find that speedometer line and get that out of there. Last week's video, there was a guy interested in this whole speedometer cluster, as well as the chrome handle controls up there and the old peanut tank that I just took off, the gas tank. So if he still wants them, that would be nice. It might help me recoup some of my money that I'm spending on everything else. Okay, so that's our speedometer cable. Of course, I'm gonna have to loosen that bad boy up. So, tracing cables, wires, I guess would be more appropriate. So it's gonna be the last one in the series, watch. Okay, make sure that I'm pulling the right one. All right, so it is this one right here, guys. That's the one we need to get rid of. So I'm gonna try and get it out of here, and then we'll go around the back and see what it's hooked to. All right, your guess is as good as mine. We might have the wrong wire there, guys. So the other wire coming up feeds into this. This is actual neutral safety light, so it lights up green and neutral. It's not needed. In fact, most of the stuff I usually get rid of that type of thing. But that one's kind of cool. I kind of like it, so I'm gonna leave it. So we got purple. Yeah, that's our Speedo cable, but it's not feeding into that breaker panel, so I'm not sure where it's hooked up. Else it's on the back side of that. There we go. And then this one stays because that runs that neutral safety, which is kind of cool. And then I can get all this stuff back in here. All right, you guys made it to the end. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please kickstart that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, comment what you guys think. Let me know if you have any suggestions for video ideas or topics you guys want covered. and I'll do my best to include those in my next projects. You guys can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Also, don't forget to check out the Beacons link in the description below. See you next time.